Finn, speak.
Hello, hello. Good afternoon, welcome to Best of the West. I'm Finley. Coming up on the programme, we head to Knoll to look back at the giant sun installation that hung above Jubilee Pool for 3 weeks. We visit a local family-run football shirt shop that's well into its new chapter. And later on, we'll watch our reporter Ollie attempt a world record to eat a jam donut of no hands as fast as he can. But can he beat the previous record of 11.41 seconds? All of that and more on the way.
Sunrise over Clifton, story
stories on the way, smiles across the city, brighter every day. From the harbor light to the hills so green, good news lives here. Know what we mean? Hey, real people, real stories rise above. It's the best of the West, best of the West.
Good afternoon. If you were out and about in the city a few weeks ago, you might have noticed that it was shining brighter than ever. Bristol Light Festival is back, and once again it turned familiar streets and spaces into something pretty special. Every evening, hundreds of people flooded into the centre to see the installations, from huge illuminated sculptures to interactive displays that stopped passers-by in their tracks. Dwight Davies reports.
I've had the chance to come to the Cascade Steps, one of 10 light installations across the city centre of Bristol as the Bristol Light Festival returns, transforming familiar streets into immersive works of art. Now in its latest edition, the festival brought together international artists and local creatives to brighten up the darkest winter nights. Designed to bring light, fun and colour to the city, the event attracts thousands of visitors each year. For many, it's become a winter tradition, a chance to experience the city in a completely different light. From bold projections to interactive installations, the Bristol Light Festival once again transforms the city. Organisers are hoping that this is another year of brightness for Bristol.
Well, it just goes to show how creativity can completely transform familiar places. But it's not just the city centre that's been lighting up people's evenings recently. In Knoll, another striking sight had people stopping in their tracks when a giant glowing sun appeared, floating above Jubilee Pool. It turned a quiet local spot into something really quite magical and drew visitors from across the country who came to see it for themselves. I went down to take a look. Last month, long after the sun had set, there was still light pouring into Jubilee Pool in Bristol. Suspended above the water, a glowing sphere was turning a late-night swim into something a little extraordinary. This is Helios, a 5-metre-wide sculpture inspired by the sun, created by Bristol-based artist Luke Jerome. Hanging above the pool for 3 weeks, it shines across the water, accompanying swimmers with its warm golden light. Weighing around 50 kilograms, Helios was made from more than 400,000 high-resolution images of the sun's surface, using observational data from NASA. Every detail you see here is based on the real sun.
So the response from our members and users and the public has been absolutely fantastic. We're a functional swimming pool, so we're operating our normal timetable hours. So all our schools and our swimming lesson students and our members have been able to swim under Helios during the day. And then we're running extended opening hours to allow the public to come and enjoy Helios, both swimming under it and walking around and just enjoying the ambience. And the response has been phenomenal. We've sold over 6,500 tickets for people to come and view Helios and to swim underneath it. It's an immersive art installation, Helios the Sun, in conjunction with the soundtrack.
For swimmers, especially in the depths of winter, it was a rare chance to experience light and warmth at a time of day normally reserved for darkness.
We've had really, really good publicity nationally and locally, but sometimes when you see something in the newspaper or on telly, when you come and see it in real life, you can be a bit disappointed. And when people actually walk through the red doors and go, wow, I didn't think it would look like that, it's just fantastic. And we've sold over 6,000 tickets, which is just incredible. We had no idea how it would be received. And people have come from Newcastle, Bridgend, London, all over. People literally coming to Bristol, especially to see Helios. It's incredible.
It's fantastic. It's quite, well, it's a very unusual experience. I did some volunteering here earlier in the week, which was really nice as well. It's great to see, you know, people's expressions when they first go in, and just the peace and the joy of being in there. And then this is my first swim under the sun, and yeah, it was brilliant. Absolutely loved it. I feel like going straight to bed now, I'll be completely honest with you, and just sleeping really well. That's where I am currently.
Yeah, it was amazing. My favourite bit was at the start when it was all quiet and you went in before anyone got in. You could see the reflection of the sun in the pool, and you could see all the intricate details on the top of the water before the water had broke. And yeah, that was really beautiful. And then getting in, just sliding underneath, still, was amazing.
For the few weeks it was on display, Jubilee Pool offered swimmers a late night escape, the chance to take a dip beneath the sun long after dark. It's amazing what a simple idea can grow into, and that's exactly the story behind our next feature too. While some people have been busy creating unforgettable moments for the community, others have been quietly building something special of their own. What started as a small operation in a storage unit has grown into a proper destination for football fans. And now Top Bins Football Shirts has taken its biggest step yet with a move into a full retail space in Montpellier. Our reporter Ollie Hanlon-Clark went along to meet the family behind the business and find out how a passion for football shirts turned into a local success story.
Today we're taking you inside one of Bristol's most unique independent shops, a family-run destination for football fans and fashion lovers alike. This is Top Bins Football Shirts, Bristol's first and only vintage football shirt shop. What started on live in a storage unit has now grown into a full-blown retail space in Montpellier.
Top Bins began because we wanted to start another business that was just buying and selling something, and then we settled on football shirts because people love them worldwide, and it's sort of something that pretty much everyone knows somebody that loves it, or they love kits themselves. And it was a family business. Me and my dad set it up, and then my boyfriend's here and a girl that I met at the pub who I brought with me, and my dad's colleague that he's worked with for 7 years on his other business. So it's all tight-knit. That's who set it up.
Football shirts aren't just sportswear anymore. They've become fashion statements representing culture, memories and individual style.
Oh, there's one that everybody always asks for, is the Spider-Man one. I can't remember what team it is, but it's very collectible and it's impossible to find. My personal favourite, I've got it here with me now, is this one. I just think it's so like chic, timeless, a little bit streetwear, like match it with anything. I really like it. That's it.
Top Bins isn't just a shop. It's a place where fans, collectors and the community meet to celebrate football history and nostalgia. Apart from the shop, you can also sit back, relax and watch your football on TV.
We sell shirts to Indonesia, Australia, the United States. I think it's historically, they had a very good team sort of 20 odd years ago, and those people who are coming into sort of disposable income and the nostalgic sort of reasons are buying up these vintage shirts. So yeah, I'd say by probably 100% margin against any other shirts, it's Arsenal.
We're not the first business to be doing this, nor will we be the last. But we're so privileged that we're the only ones in Bristol to be doing it. There's a shop in town, but they don't do vintage as much as we do vintage. And so that's a benefit. And I think the cost of living has meant that, because we're not like a supermarket where you need your everyday essentials, it's meant that you see the decline in people spending more money on non-essential items, and so the sort of like disposable income isn't as high as it used to be. So I think you'll see a decline in purchases, but you may see an uprise in them waiting longer and bigger, more thought out ones. So they might end up spending more money than they would have, but they won't be frequently buying as much as they could have.
The most expensive shirt we have, I think, is the Club America 1981. I think it's about £700.
For football fans in Bristol and beyond, Top Bins Football Shirts proves that style, culture and history can live on through the shirts we love.
Thanks, Ollie. I think it'd be quite easy to get lost in that maze of shirts. Right, after the break, we'll meet the players from SGS Pride as several look ahead to an exciting new chapter.
It's the best of the West. Yeah. It's the best of the West. It's the best of the West.
Welcome back to Best of the West. Now, for several players from SGS Pride, this season hasn't just been about results on the pitch. It's opened the door to opportunities across Europe. They're now preparing to take the next step after securing contracts to play overseas, turning years of training and dedication into the chance to play the game they love at the next level. Take a look at this.
I'm here at South Gloucestershire and SGS College, home to one of the most largest and successful American football academies in the UK. The SGS American Pride Football Academy is not only home to one of the most largest and successful American football academies in the UK, but also offers athletes aged 16 to 19 and 19 plus the opportunity to advance on their athletic journeys. Earlier, I caught up with some of the players to find out their next steps.
When you first joined SGS Pride, did you imagine going professional?
No, I didn't imagine going professional. But once I did join, I kind of like realised that I definitely could. Speaking to like some of my teammates that have played professionally before, you kind of like realise what it takes to become a professional. So just wanted to make that reality. We train 3 times a week. We go to the gym as well. Like the coaches here are great. They prepare you. They help you understand the game of football. We watch quite a lot of game film as well. I'd say they do a pretty good job at preparing you, and obviously, like, you have quite a lot of free time to like do a lot of extra work as well.
What is it like signing your first contract?
Oh, it's a great feeling. You know, obviously, like everything you work for, like it's all worth it when you sign that contract. You know?
How big is the next step for you?
We'll have to see. Obviously, ideally, somewhere bigger, somewhere better, but we'll just have to see what opportunities come our way.
Can you tell us about your plans for this summer?
I plan on going abroad to Germany to play professionally. I'm speaking to a few coaches here and there, but it's looking quite likely.
What advice would you give to new players who want to get into American football?
Just work hard and make connections with older players that have been where you're trying to go. That's one thing that really helped me. Coming to Pride, there's quite a few people that have played professionally at a higher level. So just getting to know them, just seeing what it takes, and just like even just working out with them, like you'll get a good understanding of like what it takes to go out there.
How different is it playing abroad to playing here?
Oh, it's way different. It's a lot faster. People are stronger. People are smarter. People are bigger. When you come back from playing abroad, it's kind of like everything here is in slow motion, I'd say.
From Bristol to international stage, SGS Pride has turned ambition into opportunity. For these young athletes, the dream of playing professional American football isn't just something watched on TV. It's a future they're actively building.
Local people chasing their ambitions wherever that might take them. We love to see it here on Best of the West. Well, it's now time to meet a local artist and musician making their mark on the creative scene here in Bristol, from creating new work to performing for local audiences. Spencer Thompson has been catching up with Jimmy Galvin.
Bristol is known for creating incredible talent, and for our next story we delve into an artist whose work and passion for Bristol is getting recognised far beyond it.
When people hear artist from Bristol, who do you hope they think of?
Well, I suppose obviously we've got the most famous sort of obvious artists that come out Bristol. It tends to be, I'd say, the sort of graffiti scene. But interestingly, Bristol has a very long history of artists and radicals right from like the 18th century, when we had like a really famous poet called Thomas Chatterton. And there's a famous painting in the Tate Gallery in London by Henry Wallace, who was a pre-Raphaelite painter, called Death of Chatterton, which is a really famous painting. So Bristol's always had its kind of radical sort of nuance of artists and creators. But even in the 1940s, one of the most famous artists in the world now, who died a few years ago, was called Gustav Metzger. And Gustav Metzger lived in a squat in Clifton Village in the 1940s. And to enable to live in the squat, you had to be a vegan and you had to be a communist. And Gustav Metzger's work now sells for like hundreds of thousands of pounds. So basically, I went to a school in Lance Weston, which was a really rough school called St. Bees. It was a Catholic school, and I'm Irish. So we had lots of Irish and lots of Italians, all Catholics. This is in the 1970s, and I failed at school completely. I was really thick. I was really ignorant. I didn't do anything. I was always in the bottom class throughout the whole of my school years. But there was one teacher there who was the art teacher, and he always encouraged me, because I could always draw and make images of people, you know, that people sort of liked. And so I say that's when I knew that there was something in me that was trying to express itself. I wasn't able to articulate it, but I look back and think, actually, what I'm doing now was already in me. I just couldn't see it myself. But the guy who was my art teacher was quite middle class. Mr. Bell used to wear an old tweed jacket and smoke a pipe. But he saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself. So in the latter, you know, when I got to my early 20s, and I went to art school and activated the whole sort of side of kind of what I've been doing ever since, really.
Did you always believe you could make a career from creativity, or did it feel like a risk?
Yeah, it was a risk, because obviously anything you do creatively is a risk. But for me, it was a no-brainer. It wasn't. I didn't really think of it as a career. It was just something I had to do to ensure my own survival. You know, because I had quite a dysfunctional upbringing. It wasn't a happy time. So for me, the art was kind of thing that, it's a cliche, but it kind of saved me. And you know, I was like really working class Irish, and the art thing just kind of, even now, it helps them make sense of this thing called life, you know. So I never thought of it in career terms, but I'm grateful for the life I've got, and you know, all the people I've met on my journey so far have all been. I've met all the great, you know, all the best people in my life, of friends and relationships have all been through, you know, they found me through, you know, through the painting or the music. So that was like the biggest gift, really.
You live around Clifton Village.
Yeah.
What is it about the area that inspires you, Jim?
Well, as I said, I was brought up on a really tough, really hard, bleak council estate. So when I first came to Clifton, when someone brought me here many years ago, it was like it was different. It was another planet, you know. It was very sort of run down when I first came here in the 1980s. It was very sort of middle class, but very bohemian, you know. And there were literally people hanging out windows, playing saxophones and smoking dope. Yeah. And there was a lot of that, and that really appealed to me, because I came from a completely different sort of background and environment. So obviously I like the architecture, I like the aesthetic of the whole place, the cafes. There were lots of artists here. It was a really bohemian scene, you know. And that's kind of disappeared now, because obviously, you know, when the law got changed by Margaret Thatcher, all the tenants lost their rights, and I saw the whole place change in like 18 months. It completely changed. So I still like living here, but I'd say that the people are very, very different to the people that used to live here. Now it's...
If there's one thing Jimmy Galvin has showed us, it's that hard work, persistence and a creative mindset can get his art a long, long way. Bristol truly has magic in the air. The creative power of Bristol inspires many, just like Jimmy Galvin. It's been Spencer Thompson. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Spencer. Love the shirt too. Right, still to come, our reporter Ollie recently attempted something rather unusual with his sight set on a brand new world record. Did Ollie beat one? Does he now hold the new title? Find out more after the break.
It's the best of the West. Yeah. It's the best of the West. It's the best of the West.
Welcome back. Now, recently our reporter Ollie attempted to break a world record eating a jam donut with no hands as fast as possible. It's taken plenty of preparation, a lot of patience and the huge expense of a top-class adjudicator. Take a look at this. So currently the fastest time to eat a jam donut with no hands is 11.41 seconds. Ollie's here, how are you feeling ahead of your attempt?
Not too great, not too great. I think I'll get maybe close, but I don't think I'll beat it, but we'll see.
How have you been practicing?
I did one on attempt,
Yep.
one time. I got 20 seconds.
20.
So we're hoping to cut off at least 9 of those
You're going
seconds.
to half that at least, really.
Yeah, so.
Cool. Right, I won't keep you waiting any longer. Stopwatch at the ready. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
You'll use it for fun.
Keep it going, keep it going.
Keep going. Oh, I'm dying. Oh my days, bro. This is going so hard the second time. Ah, fuck.
Yeah, come on, follow.
Oh. Can't believe it.
Put your mouth again. Well, that was interesting. What's that?
1 minute 13.
Ooh.
Not quite.
Not quite a record holder.
Yeah. Oh, my first bit was better. First bite, my mouth was real dry. So what's my second one? And then when the jam kind of like exploded everywhere, I just couldn't stop myself from laughing because I was like thinking about the fact that I was being recorded with jam all over my face because Giant Baby.
We do have you a certificate anyway.
Oh.
The attempt to beat the fastest time to eat a jam donut with no hands and without licking the lips in under 11.41 seconds was attempted on the 17th of March. Sadly, the attempt was unsuccessful.
Yeah, a little bit.
Ollie's attempt was 73.31 seconds. You gonna hang that up?
Probably not. No, no. I failed it by about 62 seconds. It wasn't even close.
Well, good luck, and hope you beat the score next time.
Me too.
Thanks, Ollie. Now back to you in the studio. Thanks, Finn. Well, Ollie joins us now. Thanks for coming on. How was it watching that back?
Not the best, to be honest. You know, knowing that it's being live streamed as well on top of that is not exactly the most inspiring thing to me. Seeing my face get covered in jam repeatedly and then like it dropping in my mouth as well at the end when I ate the whole bit was a bit harrowing.
And in there you said you did a practice attempt of 20 seconds. Yeah. That was quite a bit more. What went wrong this time?
Quite a few things. My initial bites, I don't know, I was a little slow. I think my mouth was a bit dry due to the first attempt. And then around like the third or fourth bite, the donut just fully exploded. And you know, after that point, it was really hard to stop myself from laughing because, again, I was just thinking about the context that at some point this was going to be viewed by at least like 10 people.
And what was going through your mind? Because there must have been a time when you thought to yourself, this isn't going to work.
Yeah, again, around about like the third or fourth bite, it was kind of where I realised, like, yeah, this is done. The first one, I was already not confident, but like after that point, it was just like, I need to try my best to get through this and then get it. Like, I thought we were just going to use the other clip, but I mean, I ended up going for that one. And I was like, okay, well, go.
So be honest, would you try another record in the future or try this one again to beat your time?
Yeah, I think I'd do it because I'm pretty sure I could. Like, the second attempt was just horrendously unlucky because my first one was my first ever attempt. I got 20 seconds. It's just been a really bad state that I ended up failing so spectacularly the second time.
Ollie, thanks for coming on. Well, that's all we've got time for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon for more stories from around Bristol. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, you babbers.
It's the best of the West, feel the Bristol beat. Good vibes, good times from every street. best of the West.